Before a single prayer is spoken, your identity is already transmitting into the field. In quantum mechanics, every particle carries a state, a signature vibration that determines how it interacts with everything around it. Scripture mirrors this truth. As He is, so are we in this world. Not later, not after perfection. Now. Identity is not something you earn. It is the frequency you awaken to. When you pray as someone separate, unworthy, or unsure, your inner state collapses the wrong set of possibilities. But when you remember your identity, child of God, image bearer, co-creator, you step into your quantum design. Jesus didn't pray for identity. He prayed from identity. I and the Father are one. John 10:30. At the quantum level, identity is entanglement with the divine. Authority, you shall decree a thing. Job 22:28. Authority is not spiritual volume. Authority is coherence. In physics, coherence happens when all parts of a system vibrate in perfect synchrony. Mind, heart, emotion, belief. When the heart and brain enter coherence, the electromagnetic field expands dramatically, becoming a dominant oscillator that influences weaker fields around it. This is what Scripture meant when it said, "You shall decree a thing, and it shall be established." Not because your words are magic, but because your inner field becomes aligned, stable, and creative. Jesus demonstrated this coherence constantly. He never begged reality to change. He spoke to it. Peace, be still. Rise and walk. Lazarus, come forth. He wasn't commanding from ego. He was commanding from coherence, a state where inner alignment becomes outer authority. Authority is not shouting. Authority is frequency stability. Rest, be still and know. Psalm 46:10. Rest is not passivity. Rest is quantum stillness. In quantum physics, a system in equilibrium produces clarity, symmetry, and predictable outcomes. Spiritually, this is the state called "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness is not the absence of sound. It is the absence of internal contradiction. Rest is the state where your identity is unified, your authority is aligned, your intention is clear, and your field becomes receptive. Jesus slept during storms because He lived in quantum rest. His inner world was so coherent that external chaos could not collapse His state. Rest is resonance, a frequency that tells the universe, "It is already done." This is the mystery of Hebrews 4:3. We who have believed enter into rest. Belief collapses the wave. Rest stabilizes the outcome. 4. Prayer. Before you call, I will answer. Isaiah 65:24. Prayer is not a message sent upward. Prayer is an entanglement event. In quantum entanglement, two particles share one state across time and space. What happens to one instantly affects the other. This is the biblical truth behind. Before you call, I will answer. The answer exists in another layer of reality, a completed future, and prayer is the moment your consciousness locks onto that timeline. Jesus said, "When you pray, believe that you have received it." Mark 11:24. Not will receive, have, already done, already existing in the quantum spiritual field. Prayer is not about convincing heaven. It is about synchronizing with the version of you who already walks in the answered prayer. This is spiritual quantum entanglement. 5. Becoming the answer. Christ in you, the hope of glory. Colossians 1:27. You cannot receive what your identity rejects. You cannot manifest what your frequency contradicts. This is why Scripture teaches. Christ in you, the hope of glory. The divine pattern is built into your consciousness. Prayer is the activation of that pattern. A shift from fear to identity, from noise to coherence, from striving to rest, from begging to alignment. At the deepest level, prayer is not asking God to intervene. Prayer is unveiling the version of you that is already entangled with the divine outcome. Identity births authority. Authority births rest. Rest creates coherence. Coherence activates entanglement. Entanglement reveals manifestation. This is the mystical technology of prayer, the intersection of scripture and quantum mechanics. So when you pray today, pray as one who remembers. You are not trying to reach God. You are resonating with the God already within you. You are not pleading for change. You are collapsing a divine possibility into form. You are not speaking to a distant heaven. You are activating a field that responds to identity, coherence, and rest. This is prayer in its highest dimension, biblical, mystical, and quantum.